What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kickin with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are really taking the industry by storm. Sorry. And today we have an individual that's really taking industries, no
Yes.
S, big Z's, by storm. You know what I'm saying? So today we have the legendary Kiara Green, also known as MBG, founder and CEO of Forever MBG Entertainment, which is the umbrella, as I'm believing, of all these other endeavors and facets going on.
You got it down pat.
Okay, I'm glad. I've been doing my research, so I'm glad it's coming to fruition. So how do we get into MBG from Kiara Green? Like, can we? I don't know where to start, but I think that's a pretty good place to start.
That's a great place to start. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I think your platform is dope, and I think that what you're doing is much needed. So I appreciate that. Keep doing your thing, because you know what I'm saying, you take it up in your own joint. But Kiara MBG, so Kiara Green is my government name, my legal name, my formal name. It's so funny when I tell a story. I always tell people, I be like, growing up, I always loved the name Ambi. So when I got to high school, it was like 2-3 other Kiaras, and it was like, oh, I'm like, nah, that's not.
You got, yeah, right.
Do all of that. Listen, just call me Ambi. So I went with that. My friends was calling me that, my teachers, everybody. One day my mom came up for open school night. She's like, you really got these people calling you Ambi? That's really my name now. So it's always been a name that I love. So fast forward into like my later years of college, everybody knows me as Ambi. And I'm like, nah, this is bigger than just a name. Like, let's make this a brand. Like, let's make this, because I've always been, a music head. I've always been a media head. I've always known that I wanted to be involved with in this field since I was a little girl. So I'm like, nah, I gotta, like, okay, Diddy did Sean John. Okay, I gotta,
Right, okay.
like I gotta, okay, let me think about this and really make it make sense. So I created the brand Forever MBG in 2012, I want to say. One of my homegirls, Tippy Marie, I told her, I'm like, yo, I got a vision. I need a logo. I need you to. She came up with a sketch, brought it to me. I'm like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my logo still to this day. So Kiara Green is the business mobile. You get the mom first, because I'm a mom before anything. But
right.
that speaks volume within itself, because you gotta have a mind of like 10 million things going on at one time, but to be able to like level it all out and make it run smoothly. I just take that same concept with business. So Fab MBG Entertainment, I'm like, yo, I always want to be relevant. I always want to mean something to the culture. I always want to give my all to it. Like, I'm not here on no cloud chasing. I'm not, like, this is really my passion. This is really my love.
Right.
So talk about like, oh, you're a DJ. I never seen a female DJ, or oh, you do this. You an author too. Oh, okay,
Right.
But this is really my life. Like, this is really like, it's not a, it's just not a hobby. It really means something to me. So, Kiara, when you get Kiara, you get that focus. You get the hunger. You get like, I'm gonna make this happen. Now, Ambi is a personality. That's what that's what you see. That's gonna bring you the energy. That's gonna bring you the flavor. That's gonna bring you, just I like to always be inviting. My goal as a DJ, as an entertainer, as an artist, is to always, you never know what somebody is going through, right? And when they cross that door, my goal is to make them forget about what's happening in their lives. Even if it's just for however long that they're there, that I'm there, I want you to be able to enjoy the moment, because life is about moments, right? And we don't get the 3 seconds ago. We never gonna get that 3 seconds back. So let's make it count. Let's make it worth something. And that's where you get MBG, because I'm going to give you my all. I always love just putting myself in perspective in certain people's shoes. Like, if I was that person and I was here and somebody was entertaining me, what
Right.
would I want them to do? How would I want them to engage? How would I want them to, move the crowd, talk to the people? If I was reading this book, how would I want to feel when I'm reading this book? So that's really what you get. Kiara Green is the author now. MBG is just the personality that's just gonna keep growing. And yeah, I'm just working on some things, man. I'm working on
And
some.
I love it. And I love it, right? And one thing I definitely do want to touch on, right? Like HBCU background, went to NCAT, went to Howard myself. So, we got that little connection there, you know what I'm saying? So how would you say, in your perspective, how has going to a collegiate HBCU institution, how has that kind of fueled how you kind of step out into the world and kind of, quote unquote, as if to say, prepare you for the real world? And maybe it didn't, how do you think your perspective kind of, altered that?
I always tell people it was one of the best decisions of my life. Prior to going to college, I always knew I wanted to go to college, but I went
Right.
on an HBCU tour. Shout out to the AKAs. I went on a tour with the AKAs when I was in like junior year of high school, and they took us all HBCUs along the East Coast, and I was just I felt a sense of home instantly.
Right.
Home. And I'm like, yo, I'm a girl from Brooklyn, and
Right. I'm about to say, right.
take it anywhere. I wasn't like, that part wasn't the scary part for me. It was just
Right.
really like, this is my first sense of independence. This is my first sense of really making my own decisions and really learning myself and becoming who I am as a woman, and as a young lady at that time on my own. And it was really just like trusting that I had the ability to like do it, and just trust. You really got to trust yourself when you're at home. You got your parents, you got your family, you got that backbone, but it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm creating a family away from my family. Now I'm creating, a sense of security. Now I'm creating, I felt as soon as I always, it's so funny because I always tell people, like my friends that went to Howard, I'm like, yeah, if A&T ain't get me, maybe I would have went to Howard. But I was like, it was something about when I got to A&T campus, I was like, this is it. Like, this is it. This is where I want to be for the next 4 years. Like, this is it. And it's a decision that I almost can't even describe in a way. Like, you just have to experience it to really understand that it's more than just education. It's more than just tuition. Like, it's bigger than, like, tuition can never pay for the things that I've learned at school. You understand? Like, yeah, you giving out thousands of that, like, yeah, but it all pays off in the end because well, at least for me, because it's like, yo, I the experience within my major, I got to like really engage and embark on the things that I wanted to do. I got to be hands-on in front of the camera. That was where I did my first show. That was where I did my first, like it was so many things. And it was just really me testing the waters of like, nah, I know that this is possible. I got people backing me up. I'm doing this internship. I met this person. I got a chance to talk to this person that did the same thing that I did. These are people that came from the same places, people that, they had the same teachers as me. They, and it's so beautiful that at an HBCU, we all different shades. We all different, like we all come from so many different places, but I call them my family because it's my friends that turn family. My family that I created there is like, yo, I would have never met you because you lived in Texas, you lived in Florida, but it brought us together to create a bond and a family that we got kids now. We hanging out with our kids together. We get to really see each other evolve. And that's what I love about HBCU Pride. Just like, it's really a family experience. It's one in a million. I think that everybody should experience it. And it's really, just the foundation of you becoming an adult. And that was a great experience for real.
And honestly speaking, like I envy you, right? Like when I went to Howard, I didn't know what an HBCU was until I got accepted. To be
Uh-huh.
honest, I didn't know what I'm from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even know if I was going to college. I was going to go to Albany, just like everybody else. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then, like you said, you go. It's things that you really can't put a name or even an essence to, right? Like you walking through campus, you got professors that look like you. You got buildings named after Black people. You
Yep.
got right. Your curriculum is centered around your experience, not centered around your experience, but experience as diverse, right? Or even even me doing my interviewing, right? Like it's certain things where telling certain stories would be pigeonholed or kind of caricatured, right,
Yep.
in other spaces and other places. But your story matters, right? They want to hear what's going on in Brooklyn. They want to know what's going on in the Bronx. It's stuff like this where it's important. It doesn't seem sensationalized or romanticized.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
then now going out into the community and now being a leader in the community, right? First thing I want to do talk about is situation,
Yes.
right? I do want to talk about Fituation because what you're doing with Fituation, if you guys do not know, it is the lifestyle, if I'm getting it right, lifestyle and health brand by MBG and her colleague. The name escapes me right now, but I will. But you can definitely tell me the name and shout her out definitely. But you've done an amazing work for
Mm-hmm.
years, right? And I
Um,
definitely will let you get talking to it. But we got back to school black party, right? We got three coming on four. I think the fourth one just happened. 4 annual breast cancer walks,
yes.
right? We
Yes.
got traveling to different schools to work out with the kids. We got
Yes.
going to the streets to work out with the kids. So
Mm.
I need all the story. I need the story. I need the beginning, the origin. What's going on? How did this come to be? I
So,
love the name, by the way.
Fituation, DFit is the other co-founder of Fituation.
Defit, right?
That's my partner. Shout out to D. We literally just got off a call this morning about the back to school and the breast cancer upcoming events for this year. This year is the 5th annual breast cancer awareness walk.
Wow.
Super excited about this one. It's like our baby is just growing. Back to school events. We've been so Fituation, just like you said, I love how you put that. It really is a lifestyle. Health is wealth. And D is a personal trainer. She's a fitness instructor. She got the whole NYC on lock. If you need a fitness instructor, trainer, New York, Jersey, she's based out, like she gonna take care of you. DFit, shout out DFit. We came together and we were just like, yo, okay, cool. You got fitness on Smash. I got the music on Smash. What's 2 reasons to make people sweat?
Mm-hmm.
Party, you're gonna hear some music, you dancing, you sweating. You're not even knowing you really exercising, you working out.
Right.
We giving you 2 reasons to sweat. We're gonna combine the two. We're gonna make sure you have a great time. And it's not because when we think about working out and exercising, a majority of the people is like, they might feel like it's a lot of pressure with that. It's not fun, or it's hard if I got to do it by myself, or somebody I'm intimidated because I go to the gym and I see this person looking like this and I look like this, I can't work out like them. So it's just like, okay, how do we include everybody? How do we make it fun? How do we make it, a comfortable space for people to feel comfortable in their bodies? And how do we inform the community on health? Like how do we keep us healthy? How do we take it?
Right.
How do we,
Right.
how do we create this new generational wealth with just the simplest things, from our eating habits to drinking water to exercising and just walking around the block for a day. Like we have to put these things into place. So we started with going to the schools, and we have like a whole curriculum that we do with the kids. And it's so crazy because when I think about, and I was just looking at the first school that we ever did, I was just looking at a clip of that video, and I believe that was maybe 2016. And I'm like,
Wow.
well, like the kids in that video was just like, oh, what y'all doing? Like, oh, I want
Right.
to
Right.
do this, I want to do that. So I'm like, nah, this is really like to where we understand now, like, okay, cool. We do certain back to school events or welcome back events with certain schools, New York City public schools. And we like, nah, we got to really put into our play, like things from their curriculum. So okay, cool. How can we add math into this a little bit? How can we add a little bit of literacy into this? Like, so it's really like we give them a full circle experience, and it's still getting at the target of what we're trying to get at. We want these kids, and we do that with everybody. You know, we do it with churches, we do it with, and I'm like, just to think of where the idea started and how we're growing, and it's really nowhere near where we want it to be, but that's what growth is, that's what change is, and that's just what evolving is over time. And we just me and D, we like a match made in partnership. Like we were supposed to be like in business together with doing this, because our ideas just click. And as far as with the breast cancer walk, we both had family members that passed from breast cancer. So we were coming up, we was in a park one day, literally like just brainstorming, because we used to do like fitness classes in the afternoons, like after work, for people that are coming through fitness classes and things like that. So we're like, yo, we gotta do something a little bit, a little bit bigger. And we gotta do something. We gotta do something for cancer. We gotta do something for breast cancer. We gotta do something. And we came up with the idea, and literally 19 days later, we had our first.
Wow.
19 days, and 19 days are literally like, all right, cool, let's get this money together. I
was going to ask.
So let's get this money together.
Right.
Let's get the flyer out. Let's get our people. And we would not be able to do these things without the support of the community, the support of our families, the support of our friends. And it literally, it continues to grow. And even last year, we're seeing so many new faces. We're like, oh, because we always like to engage. How you doing? How did you find out about this? They like, oh, a friend of mine told me, or I seen it on Eventbrite and I came through. Yo, this was so lit. I'm not going to another breast cancer.
Right.
I gotta let me know what the next one is. So we just building relationships, and I think that's what it's about. Just really being present in the community, knowing that. The kids in the neighborhood know that when they see me walking by, they like, yo, Abby, I've been lifting weights. So it's just little things like that. Like, oh, all right, little man, I see you, keep going. But I'm like, we changing lives literally without even,
right.
Just by being us. And that's the part that I love about it, because it's our passion. And we just really working hard and making things come to fruition for real.
And I love it, because it's like you said, like first one is in 2016. I don't know if that was like a middle school, elementary school, but those kids are already
they grown now, for real.
Yeah, they grown. Like they in high school, they already in college. If they in middle school, they already getting ready to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And if they was in elementary school, they about to finish up high school and go to college. So they a little grown. But like you said, like it's one of those impactful things where it's just like you don't see one Black people, right? Orchestrating something so positive in the community. 2, Black women, right? And then 3, having it be sustainable for 5 years, right? Like I know when I was growing up, there was block parties and this and third, but unless that one person was throwing it, it wasn't going, right? But you built something that can carry over, and as I love to say, past you, right? You can pass this on to somebody else. You got the blueprint already. And what I did want to ask is like logistics, right? Like putting on something in 19 days, one can, I hope, as the audience is looking, hey, as far as y'all see MBG and fluctuation is, you ain't got to wait for her to go do a breast cancer walk. You know what I'm saying? She just showed you she can do it in 19 days. So how was that experience, and kind of come, like, what did you have to learn? What do you have to do? Or did you have to kind of just do everything on the fly in those 19 days?
It's so funny because I feel like, pressure makes diamonds. Like,
I wish I had a funk flex bomb for that one. Oh my God.
We came up with that idea, and once we said it, it was like, yo, it's already in the atmosphere. We already put it out there. So whatever it is that we got to do, and it wasn't perfect. It wasn't like, but it was perfect for that day. It was perfect.
Right, it was done, right.
Things that was like, all right, that can't work. Okay, we're gonna have to move on to plan B. All right, what are we gonna substitute for that? How are we gonna make this work? But what I've learned in business, what I've learned in doing events, what I've learned in just being a leader, is that the concept of perfection, like, let's get that out of our heads. as much as we, you know, we aim for that. Nothing in life is perfect itself. So you can put, as long as you give 100,000,000% to it, your turnout is always going to be amazing because you gave your all. If you don't give your all, then you're going to feel like, this wasn't the best because, you know, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Just like I said, sometimes you got to substitute things. And I've learned that because you got to take, you know, you scrape your chin, but you got to have your chin up at the end of the day. Like, all right, cool.
Right.
Work out that way. Don't mope. Be sad. Hold your head up. And all right, cool. I'm going to come up with a different idea. Or, you know, we're going to go to whatever works best to still make this happen. And it takes a team. It takes a lot of communication, and just being able to listen and know that somebody else has the best interest as well. Like, you know, you're putting on events, sometimes you might think like you gotta do everything or you gotta figure it all out. But when you find a team of people that you can work with, trust people in their roles, I think that makes things a lot easier. I think that, you know, and you could start anywhere. Like, I feel like some people, you know, they're intimidated because they're like, oh, I don't got, you know, $1,000 to like save up.
Right.
Like, no, we did that literally out of our pockets. Are like, yo, okay, cool. We're going to reach out to a few people, see if they could donate something. Like, use your resources around you because that helps a lot. That helps a lot. And whatever you can do what you can do. If you can't, that's what you work toward, you know, and that's what I've learned over the years. Because when I do things, I like to do things big. Like, I want it to be the best of the best. I wanted to have this. I want to be able to pull up in this. I want, like, you, of course, we all want the glitz, the glamour, the shine, the camera action. We want it all. But let's focus on what our objective is, what our mission is. And as long as we get those things taken care of, everything else, like, that's on the back burner. Like, you know, we can get all that done, but let's focus on the mission and the reason and the why behind why we're doing this. And as long as we answer that why, I feel like we succeeded in our plans. So that's how
I mean, I love it, honestly speaking, because it's like I said, it's one of those things where, as you just said, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of creatives feel like they can't do that big event or do that big project because it's like, I ain't got the money, I ain't got the followings, I ain't got that. You don't. I'm gonna just say you don't. But what you do got is a vision, like my guy MBG just said right here. And honestly, it's one of those things, like you just said, it's faith. It's faith, and it's trusting in the fact that you got a mission, you have an objective, you have something that you want to do. And speaking of faith, right, I want to transition to something that's a little less collaborative, as you can see on my interviewer skills here.
I love it.
I was gonna say before, I love your whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got like this boss vibe going on. I like what's going on. But I do want to get into something a little bit more less collaborative, right? And a lot more about faith. I had a praying grandmother, right? The book that you wrote during the pandemic, just became a new mom. Congratulations, right? They're turning 3 this year?
Yes, my daughter will be 3 next week. I can't believe.
Oh my God, you got a Leo. My sister and my grandma's a Leo. I'm so sorry, and you are blessed. I'm sorry, and you are blessed. On both sides of the coin.
Everybody be like, I'd be like, yo, she's a little boss baby. She think
I would assume, yo.
They'd be like, oh, well, what do you think? I'm like, yo, it's just, I let her do her thing. She run the show, I'm the back burner. She run.
Listen, man. My sister is 4 years younger than me. She was watching me when she was born. That's how it was. You know what I'm saying? I be call her my little big sister. She be looking out for me. But
holding it down.
But congratulations to you, and also condolences as well, on the passing of your grandmother. As someone that has a grandmother that also is undergoing her own battle with cancer, I understand the of watching them go through it as well. And unfortunately, I don't know this feeling, but I empathize with you with losing your grandmother, but then finding solace in your own writing and your own thoughts, and also her words and her prayers for you. How was it feeling kind of getting that emotion out on paper and then asking you as well, releasing that, right? It's a lot of emotion, a lot of vulnerability, and then saying, I'm going to share this with the world and part of me and part of my brand.
Oh my gosh. This it I think about God choosing.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I think about life and just being spiritual and just thinking about like it almost like make my mind do like a whirlwind of like, oh my gosh, okay. When I put into perspective that God chose me to be who I am today, He gave me my ideas, He chose me, He
Right.
gave me specific purpose. And then I think about my grandmother and I think about the specific purpose and the mission and the effect that she's had on
Right.
around her. Um, very humble, the sweetest lady. Like if she was here today and I wrote this book, she would be like, first of all, she'd be like, Key, why did you write this book? You didn't have to do that. No, don't put me on the cover. Oh no, don't do it. Like it would, but she would have been the proudest, and I know she is. And when I think about um quote unquote bad things happening to us, right?
Right.
And how it could turn us in a way of like we might get in a slump of like, it's not gonna get better almost.
Right.
And I felt like for a quick second, I was like seeping, like I was going,
Right. I mean,
okay,
but that's okay though.
is right. Death is a part of life. We understand
Right.
that. We know that it's gonna be hard, regardless of, when, who, what, like that's just the acceptance of death is hard for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And when I channeled and really like tapped into myself, like, okay, I'm not the most emotional person. I might not be crying. I might not, but I will write how I'm feeling. I will verbally express myself extensively to the point that you're like, oh, okay. All right, cool. I get it. You ain't got to say nothing else.
Right.
Put it all on paper. So at that specific time in my life, I was like, okay, I'm feeling all these emotions. I still got to hold it together because I do got this new baby girl.
Right.
You gotta kind of wear a face as a mama, like almost as if nothing bothers you, almost as if
Right.
it's just like that's just supernatural. So it's like, okay, I can't fold on that. I know that for sure. I know that, I gotta be here for my mom. I gotta be here for my family. I know that I gotta still, figure out how I'm gonna run this business as well. I gotta figure out all these things. And I was just like, okay, all right, God, just like give me a sign. Like give me like what am I supposed to be doing right now? And it was just like, okay, go to what you love to do. What works for you? Just let it out. And I just started writing. And it was literally just personal journal entries,
Wow.
just personal little things that I'm writing. And not even like writing it in stanzas of like this is about to be a poem. No, I'm just writing
Right.
literally how I'm feeling right now. And some of the poems were like untitled until I was finished writing it. Then I'm like, okay, this is gonna be called this, or this is gonna be called that. And after I wrote a few pieces, I called my mom and I let her hear. She like, what? Nah,
You writing now. What's going on?
you gotta make this a book. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
the craziest thing that ties this all in, I've been writing poetry since I was a little kid. My grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest fans, of like, Key, you write so well. You need to write a book one day. She would say that all the time. You need to write
Wow.
a book. I was like, Grandma, I ain't got time, not right now. Like, one day I'll do it. Little did I know that this would be the transition that would
Right.
sit down, focus on this, put everything, nothing else mattered. So I took social media off my phone for a minute. I just needed some time for me to just rejuvenate and for me
Right.
recreate who I was about to become and who I was becoming, and to literally reinvent who who I still wanted to be. Like, okay, cool. That's a part of Kiara I want to bring to this new version. That's a part that I want to bring too, but I still have to bring these new pieces because I don't want to be that person. I don't want to feel
right.
like we have to choose. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, yo, love is a choice. You know, you got to choose to love yourself first because it's going to eliminate so much confusion. Like, start to really realize that it's so eye-opening and so deep to like a self-love level of like, this is what I needed. And after I wrote the book, I was like, okay, you know, if it just resonates with just one other person, you know, I've done like it wasn't even like, it's like, God, it wasn't even supposed to be. Like, how is this even supposed to be? But it's like, no, it was supposed to be. This was exactly what it was supposed to be. And I came to find that my grandmother was writing her own little journal entries and things like that as we going through her stuff, and I'm cleaning up and we looking through certain things. And I'm like, hold up. So she was writing a little bit. Of course, she got a little scripture on top of here.
Right.
Okay. So as I'm putting a book together, I'm like, this is really like a story, almost as if it starts, it's 7 chapters in a book. And I came up with that concept when I thought of the stages of a butterfly. So you start, and then you like, it's almost as you see me transition throughout the book with everything that I was going through. And it's so real, it's so transparent, it's so vulnerable. It's the things that I think, the quiet thoughts that I think that nobody really want to let out, the quiet thoughts that you have to yourself. And it wasn't until I did my first book club, in which I just finished. Shout out to the first book club. It was about a range of 20 ladies on there from ages 21 to 65. First of all, that age was amazing within itself.
A lot of wisdom jam-packed into that. Wow.
We will almost never get to sit in this same circle together unless we're doing something like this.
Right.
And it was an 8-week book club. And the first week, of course, everybody a little shy, and you know, I had my little icebreakers, and I'm working them. And by the last week, we shedding tears, we laughing with each other, we crying, because everybody gained a sense of like just trust within each other, that this is another woman that can relate to me, or you know, it was so many times that people said, I've never even said this out loud, but I want to share.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, we all have to understand that we are there. Like, we are each other. We gotta be there for each other as well. And that's just what I want from this book. I want it to be a healing for somebody. I want somebody to know that they heard, like, you're not the only one that's feeling like this. You know, you might know somebody that's going through this. You might have felt like this. I tell people all the time when I'm out and I'm doing pop-ups or book signings, I'm like, I don't want it to sound cliche, but if you got a heartbeat, it's something in this book for you. Like, it's something that you're able to connect with or relate to, or say, yo, I thought about that one day, or, you know, I felt like this before, or, you know, this is what I'm going through right now, or how do I deal with this? And I'm like, I ain't got the answers for everybody, because I'm trying to figure it out myself. But what I can tell you is keep going. What I can tell you is that it's going to get better. What I can tell you is keep believing. What I can tell you is keep trusting in yourself. Ask God if you know, and really trust that these things are going to change, that they're going to happen. You know, you're going to get out of the situation, or the worst situation. Like, you know, it's a healing process. And one of my members in the book club, she asked me, and which I thought was like a super dope question for like ending the session. She's like, let me ask you something. So when does it stop? Like, when does the grieving stop? When does
That's
it never stops. Like, you know,
it just looks a little different, right?
You just grow and it gets better. And you know, your healing grows. It's still some days that it's like, oh, okay, you really might have to take a day to yourself and feel those emotions, like be in your emotions. It's okay. And I tell people all the time, they like, oh, you in your feelings. Yeah, they mine for me to be. Let's embrace that. Like, it's nothing.
Right.
Like, let's not make that a bad thing. Like, that's what people are lacking. That's why mental health is so real now, because we feel like we almost can't be vulnerable. I tell people all the time, like, social media is not real, bro. Like, I want to be able to really talk to you and connect with you on a mental level, on a spiritual level, like, let's really talk about something that means something to you. And not saying that we can't utilize these platforms for the glitz and the glamour. Of course, you're not going to put your worst days up there, but let's still act like, we human and we have bad days, we have good days, and like, let's not jump down somebody's throat for what somebody else said. Like, come on, people, like, let's be real. Like, this is real life that we're talking about. So that's just what I really wanted to capture in this book. I think that everybody can relate to just the title alone. I mean, the foundation of prayers in our families, and whatever you believe in, it was somebody that laid the foundation to continue on to where you are now, and for the generations to come. And we have to really sustain that and keep that going. And I'm like, yo, if I gotta put it on my back now, then I take that humbly, and I'll embrace every minute of it, because that's really where I came from. Like, just strong women holding down the fort. Like, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm a mom now. Like, I remember when I was a kid. Now I'm the mom. Like, I'm in this group now. I only guess what. Like, I have to talk to my mother now, and I'm like, I understand. Okay, my bad. I was a little hard-headed. Okay, yeah, I played too much. Yeah, because I should have been a little bit. Yeah, I was right. I understand to a different level, but that's just what it's about for real. Just carrying on the love. Because love is unmatched. Like, you can't beat that. So
I love that it exploded into this whole universe you got going on, right? From the books to now shirts, and then journals, and then a documentary, right? So you got 2 documentaries out. First, I do want to talk about How to Pray Your Grandmother, but then Who's That Girl, right? Film producer, director, was also in what's going on?
It's always been a love of mine. Literally, I had a praying documentary happen, and it worked out because of Who's That Girl documentary. I did, so back in 2017, I launched, that's when I first officially launched Fab MBG Entertainment as a company, and all of an entire brand, as this is really what I'm doing. This
right.
Call me CEO. This is mine now. Okay.
I'm saying, right. Big hits on the chest.
Okay. So I've always had this vision, like I said, from being a little girl growing up, watching BT, watching MTV, watching videos. I used to watch music videos. I used to watch Bobby music. Like, I used to I was really in front of the TV like this, literally. I was a bookworm. I've always been great in school, but I always loved music, and I loved the whole aspect of everything. And I used to watch music videos, and I used to be like, yo, if I directed this video, I would have did it like this. He should have shot it.
Right.
He did this, and she should have did that. So I knew, one day I'm gonna do a movie about me. I'm gonna do a movie, and I want to have this shot of Brooklyn. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that, and to put together the Who's That Girl documentary, I interview some of my family members and some of my closest friends. And these are people that I see every day. These are people I talk to all the time. But interviewing them about me in the third person was I'm literally hearing things that I've never heard them say about me.
Or even notice about yourself, right?
you know your family love you. You know they're gonna show up for you. But for them to sit down and talk about why they love you, or what they love about seeing you do what you do, or what they love, or what was a moment that they knew like you was about your business, like just certain things
Right.
to ask. I got to ask, and I was like, it blew me away because it was really like, I'm honored that you even feel like this about me. Like I feel like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but y'all make the difference because y'all keep me going. Knowing that you feel you trust in me is going to give me a little bit more push, because I know, like, yo, I trust in myself, I trust in my dream, and I protect it all the time. But knowing that other people trust in it, knowing that other people believe in it, knowing that other people rooting for you, knowing that, like, it just gives you a different hunger, a different energy. So I got to interview my grandmother, and everybody interview was probably like about 30 to 45 minutes. I've never watched the entire clip of my grandmother's interview until after I wrote the book.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I gotta do a documentary. And I said, oh, hold on, let me go back and look at this. Who's that girl?
Right.
I shot my part of the documentary by like because I went to her house and I was able to just walk around and just feel and just vibe. And I shot my piece without even looking at her piece of the documentary yet. I came back and then I watched her full clip, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I had to, I threw the hat up like, yo, this is crazy, because again, it pieced together almost as if we having that conversation. Sometimes you don't get to have that last conversation. So it's like, okay, I got to hold on.
Wow.
But the book and then the documentary is like, okay, this was everything that I needed. This was the closure that I needed. This was, the closure, and then a new book opening that I needed.
Right. Yeah.
It just opened a lane for me to just be creative, me to tap into another thing that I love, directing, for me to tell a story, and that's just what it's about. With everything that I do, I like to tell a story. Through music, I want to tell a story. When I'm DJing, I want to tell a story. I want you to be able to leave and be like, yo, when she played this, yo, I ain't hear that in a minute. I want to take you on a little journey. When you read my book, I'm trying to tell you a story. When you're watching a documentary, I want you to feel like you knew my grandmother. I want you to feel like you grew up with me when you watch Who's That Girl. I want you to feel like, yo, now that was funny. Oh, that's cool. Or, I want you to tap into your emotions and really be able to like vibe with me. And that's just what film is about to me. Like, I have so many ideas and so many upcoming projects that I'm working on that I'm like, okay. And just seeing other people in film tell stories. Like, I love Issa Rae. I love the way she tells stories.
Yeah.
Like, just seeing Black stories being told, and like, not even making it a racial thing, but seeing Black.
Yeah, of course. Right. Yeah.
It makes all the difference, just like you said earlier when we was talking about the HBCUs, seeing our stories being told, and hearing it in a way that we know that is said, it just makes it that much more important to me. So I just take pride in all of that. I'm like, yo, if I had 5 MBGs that I could split with the arm over there that I could turn into a real one, I would be doing everything every day, like, for real. But I'm like, yo, it's just, I'm learning how to manage time. I'm learning how to like not rush the process, and really enjoy it, and know that, cool, just because you got an idea today, like, if you don't get it done today, that don't mean it's gonna be going tomorrow. Like, you still got on that, like, because I used to feel like, oh my God, I gotta get it done right now. And that's just the urge of being an entrepreneur and having these dreams and having these visions, you want it to happen when you want it to happen. But it's like, yo, just be patient, because the story is, when it unfolds, the story is going to tell itself, and it's going to be like the best version it could be. So that's where the documentaries came from, man. And I'm just like, yeah.
And speaking of stories, right? Like, I love to know, and if there's any sneak peeks or any NDAs, you ain't gotta tell me. But what's next for your story, right? Like, what should we look for now that I don't know about y'all, the audience, but I'm just watching my girl MBG talk, and I'm just like, wow, she is so freaking cool right now. She got the chair. Like, this tells me I need a better chair, because that chair is just giving me that chair is giving me prime P. Diddy, CEO, like at the table. I can imagine you at the table with a phone call right now. Like, so
I'm weak.
Now that we're fans, now that I'm a fan, what should I look forward to in the next half? We're in this, we in the second half right now. So second half of the year, or looking forward to next year. What are we looking forward to?
In the second half of the year, and I'm big on planning. Like, I just did my 3 months, so 3 months from now that'll put us to September. I did my 6 months,
Wow.
6 put us to December. I did my year, that's gonna be next July, right? And expansion. With Fab MBG Entertainment, I want to open it to more than just me. I get calls sometimes, and I'm like, just like I said, I wish I could clone myself, and not really, but
Right.
I was like, I could be here and be here at the same time.
Right.
Because I hate turning down something. Like, if somebody like, oh man, I wish. I'm like, yo, okay, cool. I gotta make this a little bit bigger than me now. Like, we in the process of looking for other DJs to hire and to add. We just trying to grow on some equipment, as far as like rental equipment. So you'll be able to rent from Fab MBG Entertainment. So
nice.
You might need some speakers, you might need some, some DJ equipment, you might need to rent for a party. We looking we're looking into those things. So that's definitely top of the year. You'll be able to get those expansion of services. As far as with the book, I had a praying grandmother. Hold on, give me 1 second. Somebody blowing my bell up, but the door is open. So all right, sorry about that.
You're all good.
I'm gonna read text messages because I said it's open. It's all good. But no, as far as with the book, oh my gosh. So the merch, that's about it. The merch. All I'm gonna say is the merch that's about to come. The merch is gonna be merchant. Okay. The merch.
Yo, I don't like secrets. I be telling my girlfriend, no secret birthdays. If you go do anything for me, tell me in advance. I don't do the secret.
The merch is gonna be merchant. So
alrighty.
So what I am doing, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek right now.
Yes.
I am going to be at Auntie's homecoming. I'm waiting on a response from Howard right now. So that'll be dope. If I'm on that yard as well. And I will have it's a new line of, hold on, let me see if I got it.
Because I'm gonna be at HU homecoming, so
listen, trying to, that's what
don't get my hopes up now, because I'm Nigerian. I go crazy.
We working on something crazy right now. So I'm trying to definitely be at these homecomings, for sure. Hold on, let me see if I could give you a little sneak of something. Because I just got a new logo in. It go kind of crazy. So we working on a sweatsuits on a whole, because when I first created the clothing line, I thought of it, and I'm like, I think that'd be cool. Like, we got so many different clothing lines, so many different avenues to like really market. And make it bigger than just this book. Make it bigger than just
right.
like, okay, this is a statement. This is something that everybody can relate to. So I started making like one-of-ones just to see like what the response would be, just to see what the people gravitate to, and like, oh no, I like that color better. Or I like this color.
Right.
I'm getting the colorways in of, I'm like, oh, this is what the majority like. Okay, so we're gonna this out more. So we just tapping in with that. New logo is in, and it speaks volume with let me see if I can pull it up real quick for you. It speaks volume with the book. If you read the book, you'll understand. Okay, let me see if you could get a close little. Take this to the charger, give you a little. Now, y'all know this exclusive because it's coming straight off my phone. See if we can tap it.
You know I love Kickin with Kachi exclusives. Yes, sir. Yes.
Sneak peek of something we working on right there.
I love it.
You know, just stay tuned for that. Absolutely, before the end of this year for that. And next year, I'm gonna tap back in with you for that one.
I like that.
I have to give you the exclusive on that first, for sure.
I like that.
Something big.
I love it. That just told me I got another interview coming my way. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all can spam her if y'all want to see her in the interview next year. That she need to come back and kick it with Kachi one more time.
For sure.
But yo, Kiara, thank you so much for an amazing interview. I just checked the time. I didn't even know we was going on for an hour, but honestly, being like I said, I was just here like, dang, like she is so cool. She's doing all the damn things. And honestly, jokes aside, like I love what you're doing for the community. Amazing work that you're doing, and amazing work that you're doing for yourself, right? Like it's hard to come out and speak so candidly about your own pain, your own stuff that you have to go through as you are grieving through it, and share it with the world and use it to heal other people, right? Like that's not easy, and that's not something that you really have to do anyway. So thank you for doing that. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you once again, kicking it with Kachi, a platform that's much needed. Take it, just like you said, for me, you taking a stance and you letting it be known, you know, you giving your people the platform to just express themselves. And that's what's needed most. So we appreciate you for being you, and kicking it with Kachi gonna get the first exclusive top of the year for February.
Thank you. You guys can hit up my homegirl, Kiara Green, at Forever MBG on Instagram. That's Forever MBG, all one word. So you know it's all there. You can hit up her page as well, Fituation. That's Fituation _ Situation with the F, because they don't F around. You can check out her new book at I Had a Praying Grandmother on Amazon Kindle. I believe it's also on Apple Books. I didn't check there, but I did check on Kindle.
Go to the website too. I Had a Praying Grandmother.shop. We got the merch up there. We got the journals up there. We got the book up there. You can get everything up there. I Had a Praying Grandmother.shop for sure. Check us out.
And while you reading the book, after you read the book, go into your I Had a Praying Grandmother journal to write your thoughts. And after writing your thoughts, check out her SoundCloud, MBG, so you can listen to some nice tunes to get you in the mood. And then after that, go on YouTube and go watch a documentary, Who's That Girl? And I Had a Praying Grandmother, to really get yourself and get your psyche nice, healed, and fulfilled. Thank you so much, MBG, for really giving us the holistic experience.
Amazing job. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, for real.
Of course, you guys can check out this interview at the DC Voice on Instagram and YouTube, and hit me up on Instagram at Costa_the_analyst. Thank you, MBG. Thank you guys for another amazing episode. We are out of here. Peace.
Out.